welcome to the Nasboys podcast. Now, did you know that when Richard Petty won his 55th career race at Darlington some years ago, when he crashed at Darlington in his big flip, he actually hit that plaque while he was flipping. If you haven't seen the video of him explaining about the accident, here it is.
Kept running, and I got the car back to speed, and then coming off of 4, where I made another mistake or broke something, anyhow, hit the wall, turned over 4 or 5 times down the front stretch. Dislocated my shoulder, and I had to miss a couple races.
The look at that pit wall gives you some idea of the impact with which Richard Petty hit it. He actually cracked the wall, almost went all the way through it, and had he gone through that or slipped up over it, it could have been a real tragedy in the pit area. I
had won my 55th race, I think, at Darlington, and they made a little plaque, and they put it on the inside pit wall. Well, when I crashed, I running through that and knocked that thing out. So I don't know whatever happened to that.
So anyways, guys, welcome to the Nasboys podcast. I'm your host, Mike, a.k.a. Mike Bob Fan 101, with my good friend and co-host, Cam, a.k.a. Noticed_Cam.
Howdy, y'all.
So let's get down to talking about this weekend's races over at Darlington. It was the first playoff race for the Cup Series, Southern 500, a crown jewel, and I don't know. I wasn't impressed with that race. I don't know if you want to start with that race or if you want to go into the Xfinity race, which I felt was better. What do you think?
Let's go. Why not? Let's just talk about Cup Series first. You go ahead. Go ahead.
You can go if you want.
No, go ahead. You're good. It's fine.
All right. So the Cup race, I thought it was pretty boring. I'm gonna be honest. I think I'd give it maybe 6 not 6, maybe 5.5. The reason why I felt it was more so the Toyota show, Christopher Bell, he started on the pole and he was running really well until he had a really bad pit stop. It was his first race with Ty Gibbs's old pit crew since they did a pit crew swap. Then Denny Hamlin managed to get the lead from Tyler Reddick. And once Hamlin got the lead, he just seemed like he was really the dominant car the whole race. Nobody had an answer for him. He was pulling away, leading by at least like 3 seconds. And then we had a big problem with the lights, which was really odd. They shut off in turns 3 and 4. I have not heard of that in years. Definitely very odd situation there. There were a couple of big incidents in this race. Like we saw Ty Gibbs and Austin Cindric, they wrecked. If you haven't seen that, here it is.
Oh, we got a big wreck over here. The 2 involved Ty Gibbs as well. Cindric's had contact with the right front.
Just hold your brakes. Try to get it rolling. They're all outside. Be ready, guys.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, right there. Racing for 14th position. Cindric just gets into the left side of the 54 Ty Gibbs, and up the racetrack they go right here. Contact. Gibbs into the wall, turns the 2 right into the wall. Yeah, the 50.
That looked like it was clearly Cindric's fault, but it could have also been a racing deal because I couldn't tell if Gibbs was coming down a little bit, but I definitely saw Cindric come up. And then the bigger incident of the night was Alex Bowman and Daniel Suarez. They had a little bit of an incident where Bowman was blocking. If you haven't seen that, here it is.
The inside, Bowman's going to block. More of a block. Contact.
Oh, and he puts him in the wall. Into the wall goes Bowman. And now Suarez and Harrison Burton caught up.
Stay all the way at the top and stop.
Free pass is going to go to Truex Jr., I believe.
So as you can clearly see from the video, Alex Bowman is an idiot. I don't know why he's blocking. Like, it's Talladega with 5 laps to go, and he's in the lead, even though it was Darlington and they were battling for I don't even know, maybe 15th? Something like that. I don't even know where they were battling from. And yeah, I mean, I don't blame Daniel Suarez for not lifting. And Bowman was complaining that, he didn't lift and he crashed us. Yeah, he's not going to lift all day for you, you entitled little prick. So that was definitely dumb. He he pretty much killed his whole race. But coming into the last stage, Denny Hamlin, he had a loose wheel. I think he had some problem with the tire, which definitely killed his momentum and made a plot twist for the race. And it ended up being a battle between William Byron, Kyle Larson, Tyler Reddick, and Kevin Harvick. And, Larson, again, proving his dominance, great drive to try to win the race. And he ended up getting it done for his first Southern 500 victory and locking himself into the next round.
Yep. Going into the race, first of all, I just want to say, didn't really race like Darlington. I think the new setup for the cars definitely just doesn't. I don't know. This is only a first time. I don't know. It's just not really clicking. Doesn't feel the same. I don't know. Doesn't have the same atmosphere to it either, in my opinion. It's kind of boring. It was just a lot of. There wasn't a lot of catch up, really. And like that, kind of like that rubbing together racing that you see at Darlington. There was a lot more single file, and I don't know what was going on. Denny Hamlin was pretty dominant the whole race, in my opinion. I'm sure that's in everybody's. I know he had that wheel problem, which then kind of let everybody else catch up a little bit. It's made it a little more interesting, I guess. Earlier in the race, we saw Christopher Bell and his pit crew. I mean, they sucked. That was terrible. They had the car jack run out. I mean, that was terrible. Trying to think. The Bowman situation was pretty stupid. I'm glad Suarez didn't held up because, I mean, you're being a little entitled brat if you think that someone should just let up and let you get their spot and let you just get ahead of them because you want to be an idiot. No. And then there's also that situation with Cindric and can't think of it. Gibbs. Thank you, Gibbs. Which that was kind of they. I think they said that he went down on Cindric, but I saw Cindric go up on him. Cindric did that to himself. So, but overall, it was a decent race. If I had to give it a decent, I don't know, it was kind of lackluster to be honest. If I had to give it a rating, I'd probably give it like a 5 out of 10. What about you, Mike?
Yeah, I think I got to give it about 5 or 5.5 to be nice because I did enjoy the last stage when they were trying to battle for the lead. Right. Some notable drivers that I do want to mention. We saw Chris Buescher again on his run. He finished 3rd. We saw Ross Chastain finally get a top 5 at Darlington. He's had some bad luck. We saw Eric Jones. He finished in 10th. And then Carson Hocevar, he ended up finishing 17th. He started 15th and was running a pretty decent race. As you guys know, he's filling in for the suspended Noah Gragson right now. So that's a great run by Hocevar. I wouldn't mind seeing him in a Cup car. I know I was, complaining about it a little bit because I felt he would be rushed. But now that he's actually racing with these big guys, he's doing a really good job, I feel like.
Yeah, I agree. Trying to look here. See, Buescher staying up in the top 5. I mean, he's been doing great, bro. I don't know what he's been drinking or eating, but I mean, dude has been amazing. Let's see, Ryan Blaney getting in the top 10. Chase Elliott was in the top 10. Eric Jones getting 10th. That was pretty interesting.
Bubba coming in 7th as well after he slid up on Joey Logano. If you haven't seen that, here it is.
Into the left rear quarter panel of the 22 Pennzoil machine. Contact right there.
So just kind of his own racing deal. He got loose, kind of screwed Logano's race up. They screwed their whole race up when that happened. They were trying to fix it all night, but Logano ended up finishing 12th. Big ups.
Yeah, that was clutch for Logano.
He was out for most of the race, but now he's back in 11th of the playoff cut line. Bubba is 7th. I'll get into the standings in just a minute once I get through the list here of what y'all had to say. 25% said great, 50% said good, 25% said miss, that's okay. Nobody said bad. Henry24257 says, okay racing, glad Larson pulled off the win. And IMR_official_ says, Only the restarts were the good parts. It got really spread out fast. I agree with you completely.
Yes.
Driver of the day, Kyle Busch. No, I do not think Kyle Busch was the driver of the day. I will give it to Denny Hamlin.
No, Hamlin 100%, bro. Are you crazy?
So taking a look at the standings currently for the Cup Series, Kyle Larson is first after he locked himself in to the next round. William Byron is second. Tyler Reddick is third. Chris Buescher is fourth. Denny Hamlin is fifth. Martin Truex Jr. is sixth. Kyle Busch is seventh. Brad Keselowski is eighth. William Byron, or not William Byron, Ryan Blaney is ninth. 10th is Ross Chastain. 11th is Joey Logano. And 12th is Christopher Bell. On the cutoff, 13th is Bubba Wallace, 14th is Kevin Harvick, 15th is Ricky Stenhouse Jr., and 16th is Michael McDowell. I think McDowell had a problem too. He might have wrecked. If you haven't seen that, here it is.
We got a spin on the front straightaway. The 38 is around the 11 of Denny Hamlin into the wall as well down into turn one.
McDowell got in it as well, so two playoff drivers, Denny and McDowell.
Well, and they were racing for the free pass, so we're going to have to see what NASCAR has to say. Oh, McDowell, heavy damage to the 34. There's a chance there could be no free pass awarded if they're involved in the accident. We'll see what the tower has to say.
Big damage. Here, see the 38 back here on the inside of Austin Dillon. So Kyle Busch and the 38 contact. The 38 now out of control, fishtailing. Denny trying to avoid. Here comes McDowell, heavy contact. Though 20 car. Christopher Bell is well involved.
So, yeah, that's I guess the Cup race in a nutshell.
Yeah, I'm honestly though, I will say, like looking at the standings, I'm a little surprised Buescher isn't a little more up in there. I thought he'd be like third or second, not fourth. So
I think it's partially playoff points too.
yeah, that's true. That is true. That's a good point.
All right, now let's take a look at the Xfinity race, which I felt was the much better race of the weekend. We saw Denny Hamlin. He entered that race and he won that. Completely forgot that he does a one-off race every year in the Xfinity race. Let's see. There was a lot of three-wide racing, and there were a couple of incidents. Like we saw Sam Mayer. He got into somebody. I forgot who it was. If you haven't seen that, here it is.
Looks like there's going to be some contact. Sam Mayer gets into the back of him and turns him sideways. Parker drives it for all it's worth.
That is frustrating.
Yeah, you have to wonder what might have happened. Maybe in the corner before that or the lap before that.
We saw a big save from Daniel Hemrick as well. He was racing for position, almost got turned, but great save by him. Here is that.
Here's the 8 of Josh Berry, still winless in 2023 with Daniel Hemrick in the 11 on the outside.
Yeah, he's been racing hard. Oh my goodness.
Hemrick about gets sideways.
Hemrick and the 8 of Josh Berry had a terrible corner exit of turn 4. Larson patient there between both drivers. See him wiggling down into turn 1. That tells you how much these cars are willing to slide around, how easily that can happen.
Again, a lot of three-wide racing, and I really enjoyed Hamlin's battle with Austin Hill. He was battling with him for a couple laps with around 20 to go, trying to get the lead, and he ended up pulling off a great move to get Hill's line messed up a little bit, and he ended up taking the lead and just running away with it. And then there was an OT finish with John Hunter Nemechek. He ended up taking the lead from Nemechek, and I think Hill, again, to get the lead from that. But I felt like John Hunter Nemechek was a really dominant car. He stayed up in the front for most of the race.
So yeah, for the race, I would give it, if I had to give it a rating, I'd probably give it like a 6.5 out of 10. It was a better race than the NASCAR one for sure. Something that kind of shocked me though was Kyle Busch was also in this race and he only got to 9th.
And Larson.
Larson was also in it. Where did he finish? Let's see. Hold on, I'm looking
Larson,
right now.
let me see.
Wow, 38th.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
I think he had a problem. I'm not entirely sure though.
I imagine so. There's no way he ran like that. But Kyle Busch getting 9th, kind of wasn't expecting that. I thought, if knowing he was in the race, I thought he was going to do a little better. I feel like also I thought Nemechek was doing pretty good. I think I'm pretty sure he led the most laps. Yes, he did. I'd also give props to Austin Hill as well.
Yeah, taking a look for me, who I'd like to give props to. I don't know. Everybody looks pretty normal. Parker Retzlaff, I know he led a couple of laps, so good for him. He's a pretty solid driver. Taking a look at what you guys had to say, 29% said great, 43% said good, 29% said meh/okay. Nobody said bad. No thoughts, no driver of the day. I will probably give it to either Denny Hamlin or John Hunter Nemechek. One of those two.
I'm gonna give it to Nemechek just for how many laps he led. I mean, he seemed to be up in
Yeah.
front.
There are a couple of news topics going on in the series. Matt DiBenedetto is actually going to be leaving Rackley Ware Racing, and there's a lot of people thinking that he's going to go to the 31. I've seen a couple of things for the 31 because I don't believe we talked about it on the show, but you guys have probably already heard about it. Justin Haley is going to be out of that ride, and he's going to go to Rick Ware Racing. So my quick opinion on this is that Justin Haley is really stupid, and the team is really stupid for ditching him like that. But I've seen a lot of people saying that he could go to either SHR or RFK. So if that happens, good for him. But if he's just doing it just to sign with Rick Ware, that's really stupid, and I can't wait to make fun of him every time he finishes in last. But
Yeah.
Matt DiBenedetto going to the 31, it makes some sense to me. He does think he has some sponsorship. I'm not entirely sure. Well, actually, I don't even think he does now. I'm thinking about it because most of it was with Rackley. But I also saw Justin Allgaier and there was one other guy. I forgot who it was. Oh, it wasn't AJ. I don't know who it was. But Justin Allgaier might be a possibility, and he has sponsorship. So if colleagues sponsor, or if colleagues' problem is the sponsorship thing, then Allgaier is definitely a good move, I think. DiBenedetto would be decent since he has been in the Cup Series, but so is Allgaier. But I feel like DiBenedetto was a little better than Allgaier in the Cup Series. So really, I think if they signed one of those two guys, it would be smart.
Yeah, I'd agree. I'll get back to my opinion right after this quick break.
Go.
All right, so we're back. I'm going to be talking about Haley, first of all, leaving to Rick Ware. I think that's a terrible idea for him. I think it's wrong for his team. I think that was stupid, and I think it's stupid for him because he's just going to be last in every race he's in. As for the 31, I really think that'd be a good spot for DiBenedetto. I think Allgaier is good too, but I just think DiBenedetto is definitely a better racer in Cup Series. So, I mean, who knows? But hey, if Allgaier could prove something with it, then go ahead.
Right. Definitely got to agree with that. And Ty Majeski, he was issued a penalty from the last truck race. I think it was like a L2 penalty. They got rid of some of his playoff points and some regular points. And he's in it still, fortunately, because he did win the first Truck Series playoff race. And we are going into the last Truck Series playoff race, but we'll get into that in a little bit. Or not the last Truck Series playoff race, but the last race of the first round with Kansas this Friday night at the time of the recording. So I guess now we haven't done this in a while. Cam wanted to review some crappy paint schemes or paint schemes that he mostly thinks is crappy, but I don't have a problem with some of these. I have a problem with a couple of them, but not all of them. Take it away, Cam.
All right, so let's go away. We're looking first at the number 15, the mustard yellow ketchup car. That's just disgusting. You got a Walmart brand Albert Einstein for the Ollie's logo here. I just think it's a horrible car. I can't help but look at this and just think puke. What's that say? Good stuff, cheap. Yeah, buddy, your paint scheme looks cheap. This car sucks. It looks like it belongs in the garbage can. I think this is just a terrible. Listen, and even Joey Logano, he has the same red and yellow car, and I hate it. All right, you can ask Mike. I talk about it all the time. I can't stand that same car constantly. So yes, I get annoyed at it too. It's not just him I'm hating on. I'm hating on all types of car schemes that have red and yellow. So what do you think about this car, Mike?
I think it looks very bland. I think the car looks decent for like what they've done, but I hate the black. You can clearly tell they didn't want to paint the whole car, so they just kept the black wrap. It looks really bad. But one I do have a problem with is this McDonald's car by Bubba Wallace.
Yeah, you can go ahead, take it away. Take it away.
I was gonna say, you know how McDonald's used to be like all colorful, like you could see like the Play Place logo, and then all of a sudden they renovated it and it just looks like a office building.
Yeah.
That's literally what this car is. McDonald's used to have such cool paint schemes, like the Mac Tonight car, for example. Some of the other cars in the '90s, and now we get this bland crap. I mean, even when Jamie McMurray was driving, we had a decent looking red and yellow McDonald's car. But we just get this gray stuff. Like, what is this?
I mean, right, dude. I mean, literally, like I do see. I mean, like it just looks like a sheet of metal. There's nothing good about it. It looks terrible. I mean, my God, if you want to be bland and basic, just make it a McDonald's bag. Like make it brown and have like little crinkles in it. I think that's a better idea than this. I mean, Jesus Christ. I mean, like, come on, you're over here with a dang 23, and it looks like crap. I mean, gray, red, and yellow. Blech, blech, blech. Dude, this car
What
is the
does
color of a trash can. That's what it is. It's a trash can.
what this gray even have to do with McDonald's? Honestly, like this car looks like a freaking test car, and they didn't realize McDonald's was going to sponsor races this year, so they didn't have time to come up with a scheme, so they just decided to put McDonald's logos all over their test car.
Yeah,
Really
that's
cheap.
pretty much what it is. That's pretty much what it is. Like it looks like one of those like janky cars you see in like those fast food commercials, you know? That like
Yeah.
they use. Yeah, it just looks like this. Like it looks like they just took a car from like Sandy Shores in GTA 5 and was like, let's place some logos on it. Make it look all right. I mean, this one
Yeah.
sucks. All right, let's go for the one that Mike somewhat disagrees with my opinion on here, but I'm gonna rip into this car. It's Bubba Wallace's 45. It's got a bland white
It's
Jordan
Tyler
logo.
Reddick, not Bubba Wallace.
Oh, I mean, my bad. Sorry, I'm thinking Jordan. My bad. Tyler Reddick. Sorry about that, Mike. Um. Anyways, yeah, let's talk about this. Okay, first of all, the jankiest, blandest Jordan car I've ever seen. Right? I was telling Mike, why don't you maybe put some shoelaces on the hood there? You know, make it look like a shoe, right? Have a little opening to it. You know what I'm saying? Give it a little strut, little style. Like, why not do like the classic where on the Jordan shoe it has like the elephant print, or it has like the gray with the black specks on it. You know, add a little color to it. Instead, you got a Jordan logo on it, and there's the ugliest monster logo on the back that doesn't deal with anything about it. Like it just looks out of place. And it's just, and I like the Carolina. Listen, I like the teal. I like that color. I think that looks great on a car, but it's so bland. It looks janky. It looks like crap. I just think once again, it's one of those cheap cars. I mean, alongside with Bubba's. So yeah. What do you think, Mike?
See, here's the thing. I like Jordan a lot. I love his shoes. I love his basketball career. I'm a big fan of Michael Jordan. And I'm a big fan of the Carolina blue. I'm not a fan of the Tar Heels, but I love that color Carolina blue, which is why I somewhat like the car. But I agree with you that it does look bland. The reason why I would rate it at a higher rating and not completely crap on it is mainly because of the blue and because it is a Jordan logo car. I think what they could have done to fix it is they could have done like a Wings logo, because if you have a pair of like early Jordan shoes, like Jordan 1s or 2s, they have Wings logos, which is probably on the screen right there. Which is what before the Jumpman, as a matter of fact. They could have done that. They could have put something on the side of the car. I don't know. They could have made it a lot better. They could have put lines. They could have put shoelaces, like you mentioned. But overall, I think that does look bland, and I really don't like the monster car or the monster logo on the car. I think it takes up too much space. And then there's also is that McDonald's? Yeah, that is a McDonald's logo. There's also a random McDonald's logo right there in a red print.
Yep.
So I think that ruins the car, but I wouldn't completely crap on it because of that. I just don't like how bland it is, and I think that they could have done more, which is what I agree with you with.
Yeah, it's too spacious. If anything, it reminds me of like a toilet bowl brush, bro. Like that's what I think of when I look at this car. Like it is disgusting. Let's go on to the next. Now, we're very familiar with this car, but I absolutely can't stand how it's the same dang scheme every time. That monster logo is just there, implemented. There's nothing else. It's boring. I think that's an Interstate Batteries logo on the side of it, if I'm not mistaken. Um, and I listen. I will say I like the 54. There's like a little shine, like kind of like how Busher has some of his cars. I think that looks nice. But besides this car is sucks. It sucks. It's bland. I get tired of seeing the dang thing every week, and it just looks garbage. Like I don't even know. Like why not make it white for a difference? How about that? Like make it white, make it gray, make it something. I mean, like I'm not saying that these are like better colors, but give it a little pop. I mean, good lord, why not have a green monster car? Like I think that would be a great idea.
Yeah, like Monster has cool ideas with their cans. Like they have a cool kind of like white smoky can. They have like blue cans, but the cars just look the same every year. I don't know why that is. And like Monster's a good partner with NASCAR. They sponsor a lot of different drivers like Riley Herbst, Ty Gibbs. You know, I was gonna say 2311. They do sponsor Reddick. Never mind. I don't know what I'm thinking there, but they sponsor a lot of different cars. They're a great partner to NASCAR. But what I don't like is that they don't allow 164 diecasts, and I don't even think they only allow the 124s, and even those are really limited, I think. Um, because they don't want kids getting their hands on the 164 because they'll drink monsters, even though I think kids are a lot smarter than that and just like the car. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's just so bland. I don't know why. Monster could do so much more with their cars. They could add like the cool lines you see on the cans. They could make the cars different flavors, like how Jordan was doing with the Jordan cars, like the white cement 3, the green 2, the UNC, all that. And Monster just does the same thing every year. It's ridiculous. And even for Reddick's car with the Beast car, like they could have done so much more and they just only put an I. It's literally the same scheme, but they put an I in Monster Beast instead of Monster Energy.
Yeah, and you know what? And like my thing is, it's like fine if you don't want to base it off after the can. Why don't you add like a green stripe down the middle, or add some flame, like some green flames? Like, dude, just be something different than the same dang car every week. Um, Now we're going on to Chris Ravel's Yahoo car, which I just want to say this looks like the Grimace Shake. um, this car looks like one of those off-brand like Tide Pods, you'd see. Like you'd see like you put like your dish in your dish soap, like what is it called? Dishwasher. I think I like purple, but I just think, it's a little weird, little basic in a sense. I mean, now I will say this though. It's very filled up. I do like that. Like if you look on the side of the car, like there's a lot of sponsors there. There's not a lot of empty room. They added some designs. I think the Y on the hood's a little confusing. Just having the Y with the exclamation point, that was a little weird. I don't know. I thought that was a little weird. But besides that, it's an okay car. I just think it looks like the Grimace Shake, and I just want to point it out.
I like the car. I see where you're saying again, where it does look a bit bland, but I think it does a good job representing Yahoo. So I don't hate on it too much, but the Grimace Shake roast is kind of funny.
Yeah. I think if Google was to ever make a car, they need to add like on the side, like the Google search bar. I just think that'd be funny.
Oh, that'd be cool. Yeah.
But that'd be sweet, bro. I'm not crazy to think that.
No, I agree with you completely. Like they could
Yeah.
have the search bar with the I'm feeling lucky thing.
Yes, dude. Yes, yes. I think Google would be a really good one.
All right.
Also PBS. Sorry. Also PBS.
I was gonna say, I guess it's now time for meme of the week. This one I think was unanimous. Here it is. So for context, it's literally Alex Bowman and Daniel Suarez last night at the time we're recording this. What do you think of it?
I think the meme is pretty funny. I think out of all of them, I like this one, which is the Cars one with Suarez saying "Hola, amigo," and Alex Bowman wrecking. And then I also like the let's see, I gotta find it right here. Sorry about that. It's by Dank NASCAR memes or Dank _ NASCAR memes. Chris Boucher and
We had him on the
RFK
show.
to the playoff picture and it's Conor McGregor walking. So
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I like that one too. All right, now I guess for picks this weekend at Kansas, all 3 series I believe are racing at Kansas. I got to double check if the Xfinity is, and yes, they are. All right,
yep.
so for the Truck Series, I'm gonna say Grant Enfinger goes 2 in a row.
Yep. I'm also going Grant Enfinger. I feel like he did pretty good last year. I know he finished, I think it was 4th or 3rd. I can't, maybe even 2nd. I can't remember to be exact. But he won yesterday. I feel like he has a good car. I think he'll do it again this weekend.
For the Xfinity race, I don't know if a Cup driver is going to be in it. So if there is a Cup driver, I will go with one of those, preferably either Ty Gibbs. I don't think Kyle Busch is going to be in it. I think Darlington was his last start. So if like Ty Gibbs or Kyle Larson or Chase Elliott or Bowman's in it, I'm going with them. But otherwise, I think I'm going to go with Brandon Jones to pull off the upset and get into the playoffs because this is the Xfinity regular season finale. I know I said Daytona was, but I was wrong.
Mike, bro, you gotta quit taking my things, man. All right.
I took yours again, bro.
Again, dude. I had this planned out. I was like, man, I'm gonna have this. I was like, he's not gonna pick Brandon Jones. I was like, surely, but no, it's okay. I think if it is now, okay, actually, I'm gonna be different here. If Kyle Larson is in it, I would say Kyle Larson. If he's not, I am going Brandon Jones. I think he did really good last year here. He always does good year. So I think he has a pretty good chance. I'd also watch out for Allgaier too. I think he could do good.
Well, I did pick somebody to win 2 races in a row in the Truck Series, and you just mentioned him, and technically I mentioned him too to pick for the Xfinity race, but I'm going to go with him again. I'm going to say Kyle Larson wins Kansas. I know I mentioned it on the playoff pick episode. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. But yeah, I'm going to go Kyle Larson winning 2 in a row at Kansas.
All right, and for me, I'm going to go Truex Jr. I think Truex is going to pull off the win here.
All right. And so with that will conclude this week's episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. Comment, like, subscribe. Make sure you guys follow our socials. And we will see you guys in the next episode. Peace.
Peace.